Welcome YouTube to the opening game of the New Mexico State Aggies Dynasty as we take on the Central Michigan Chippewas. The Aggies open 2026 at home against Central Michigan in their first year in the Pac-12 conference as they look to build on a 6-win season in 2025 in order to open a strong inaugural season in the Pac-12 conference. Now, as we open against Central Michigan, this is a team that was not as successful as the Aggies were last year, so this should be an interesting matchup. Chippewas, they're going to open and they're going to hand the ball off to number 4 Caleb, who's going to break off a big gain and get the ball inside of Aggie territory. Later on the drive, on 3rd and 4, Tony Jefferson, he steps back to drop back the pass and he throws an absolute dot, finds a wide receiver wide open there to get down into Aggie territory. Later on the drive on 1st and 10, Jefferson, he's got time to pass. He tries to get out of the pocket but ends up getting sacked by DN number 98, Malachi Taatse. Later on in the drive on 3rd and 6, Jefferson once again got time to throw, tries to get out of the pocket but ends up getting sacked by Paul Humpage, and that's going to force the Central Michigan Chippewas to kick a field goal. Aggies get the ball and they don't start off on a good start as Mariucci drops back the pass and he's quickly sacked, setting up a 3rd and 12. They try to get a little screen pass out to Humphreys, but unfortunately he comes up 3 yards short, and the Aggies end up punting. Chippewas take over and Jefferson runs a little read option, actually gets a nice gain here. He gets hit really hard at the end of that play, but ends up being a nice game for the Chippewas. Later on 2nd and 8, Jefferson gets out of the pocket and throws an absolute strike to number 29. That is a touchdown, and the Aggies find themselves down 10-0 to start the season. On the ensuing drive, the Aggies find themselves down 10-0. They start off the drive with a little handoff to the freshman Humphreys, who breaks a tackle and ends up gaining 14 on the first play of the drive with a nice little start of the game. On 3rd and 5 here, nice little in route to number 1 receiver, number 5, Donovan Papel. They're going to speed up here to try to catch the team off guard. They're going to throw another little screen pass to Papel, who ends up gaining 3 yards. On 2nd and 7, on the following play, they're going to throw a little out route to him, and he gets 3 straight catches to start the drive as they look to get their number 1 receiver involved here to begin the season, and he's officially over 1,500 yards in his career. Later on in the drive, they're going to hand the ball off to the freshman Humphreys again, who gets a nice little gain up the middle, but unfortunately this is going to come back due to a holding play on the offense. So not a good start for the offense for the Aggies as they get backed up, and that's a hold on right guard BJ Tolo. So the drive ends up stalling. They end up settling for a field goal, number 35, but he does not get enough on it, ends up coming short. So the Aggies get nothing on the drive that did look promising, and the defense gives back out there. But on the ensuing possession, the defense does end up finally stopping the Chippewa offense and forcing a punt. So the Aggies get the ball back and they start off the drive here on the 3rd and 10. And Marucci, he's going to scramble to the outside and somehow picks up 11 yards to get the first down. Later on the drive, it's 2nd and 6. He's got a nice little pocket here. He scrambles once again. He gets out of the pocket, gets up a good gain, but he ends up fumbling. And luckily for him, the tight end jumps on the ball. The Aggies drive ends up stalling, but they do end up with 3 points, and they go into halftime down 10-3. All right, kicking off the second half, the Aggies are going to hand the ball off to Humphreys, who gets a nice gain down the sideline, ends up getting it all the way inside the 20. That's a big gain for the freshman to kick off the second half. Unfortunately, the drive does stall, and the Aggies end up settling for a field goal, but they make this one, and they end up inching a little bit closer, making the game 10-6. Chippewa still lead. Now they actually end up getting the ball back. They end up driving down into Chippewa territory, but they got a 4th and 1 here that they're going to go for instead of kicking another field goal. They're going to hand it off to Humphreys, who ends up picking up 3 to get a first down. Later on the drive, they're going to run a little play action, throw a jump ball up to big tight end number 14, Hunter Talley, brings it down. That is the first touchdown of the Aggie season, and they're going to put them in front of this game 13-10. As the Chippewas take over here in the 4th quarter, They got a 2nd and 6. Jefferson's going to run a little quick play action, and wide open is number 29, who picks up a big gain to get inside of Aggie territory. Now the drive does stall, and Central Michigan kicker ends up pushing it a little bit to the left, and they actually don't get no point on that drive. So the Aggies take over with a prime opportunity to try to ice the game and take some time off the clock. They throw it short behind the line of game, and they actually end up punting. So Aggies Chippewas take over, and that's another big play to big number 29 as he gets the ball all the way down inside of Aggie territory. They continue to driving. Now they're inside the red zone. Jefferson throws a pinpoint dot to number 84, and that is a touchdown, and the Aggies find themselves down once again. So to take over late in the 4th quarter, they need to get inside. They need to get a touchdown in order to win the game. That's a nice little throw from Mariucci to Fapel. But on 4th and 10, they try to get the line again, and that is a drop ball. And the Aggies end up falling short against the Chippewas against game 1 of the season. They ended up losing 17-13. Moving on to game 2, they go to Hawaii to take on the Rainbow Warriors. Another opportunity for the Aggies to try to get the first win of the season. To start off with the first drive, number 12 tries to scramble, but he gets sacked by big DT Dre Saunders. That's a nice start for the Aggie defense. On the following play, 2nd and 13, throw a jump ball, go get up and go get it. That's a nice deep pass, and that is a touchdown. Rainbow Warriors, not a good start after all for the Aggies. They get the ball back down 7-0 here mid-first quarter. They're going to run another play to Humphreys, who's going to pick up about 15 on the game. He's got a nice start to the season himself. 2nd and 10 later on in the drive. They're going to continue to hand the ball off to Humphreys, who picks up another nice gain. He gets it all the way down to the red zone. On the following play, they run a little jet toss to number 21, and that is a touchdown as the Aggies quickly tie the game 7-7. Now the Aggies end up getting the ball back. They got a 3rd and hit here. They're going to run a little screen pass to Humphreys. He's going to try to fight for the extra yardage that he needs, but he comes up short. Offense stays on the field even though they backed up on 4th and inches. They run a little ISO to number 24. They end up getting it. Later on the drive, 2nd and 10, they throw a little comeback to Fapel, who ends up dropping it. Hate to see that out of your number 1 receiver. On 3rd and 10, they try to set up another screen pass, and he ends up dropping it. So the Aggies got to settle for a long field goal, and he absolutely drills it dead center. That is a deep 50-plus yard field goal for the Aggies to go up 10-7. Hawaii, they come back on their ensuing drive, and they beat number 27, and that is a touchdown for the Rainbow Warriors, and they're going to go back in front 14-10 as Perry ends up beating his man for a nice long gain. On the following possession, Mariucci is going to scramble. He's going to end up gaining 13 yards here to get a first down. On the following play, he's going to once again find an opening. He's going to scramble for another first down as the Aggies try to get down the field for an opportunity to score here late in the 2nd quarter. On the following play, Mariucci throws an absolute dot to number 29 as they get deep inside of Warrior territory. Now with an opportunity to score a touchdown, Mariucci is going to scramble to the right side. He's going to run forward, and he finds his way to break the plane, and that is a touchdown for number 18, Santino Mariucci, as the Aggies find themselves back out in front. So the Aggies are going to take over to begin the second half. On 1st and 10, they're going to run the ball up to Triplett. He's going to gain 13 yards. That's a nice start to the drive for them. On the following play, they're going to run the ball again. Nice gain up the middle for another 11 yards as the Aggies are absolutely gashing the Warriors on the ground. So the Aggies get down inside of Hawaii territory. They're going to find Triplett here as he runs a little table route to get outside the backfield. He gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. And on the following play, 1st and goal, they're going to run the ball right up the middle to number 30, Humphreys, as he gets his first touchdown of his college career. And the Aggies open up the second half, going up 10, 24-14. Rainbow Warriors take over, run a little play action to start the drive. They're going to go deep, and they've got a man down the field. He ends up making the catch, and a flag is down. The flag ended up being a pass interference. Doesn't matter as he comes down with the ball. Hawaii's got the ball deep inside of Aggie territory. On 3rd and inches, they're going to throw the ball, and guess who Number 29 is going to come up with the interception after a big penalty, after giving up a big play. He comes back, sticks with it, and gets the interception for the first turnover for the Aggies. So Aggies take over with an opportunity to put more points on the board, but they go for it on 4th and 1 in Hawaii territory and ends up getting stuffed. The Warriors take over, and on the following possession, they're going to run it in for a nice 26-yard touchdown for number 26, and the Warriors are right back into this game. Aggies take over. They're only up 3 now after a prime opportunity. They're going to run a play action, but Mariucci's unable to get the ball off. He ends up getting strip sacked, and the Warriors take over. And on the following possession, the Aggies end up stopping the Warriors, who end up tying the game, forcing a field goal to tie the game, and the Warriors are actually going to end up making this one 24-24 to tie the game as the Aggies blow a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. So take over now, a little bit under 6 to go. They got an opportunity to drive down the field to score the go-ahead point. Start off with a little out route to Fapel. On the following play, they're going to throw a screen pass to Grimm, who's actually going to end up getting some nice yardage, but it's 3rd and 22. He gets 17 on 4th and 5. The Aggies decide to go for it. Nice little drag route to 29, and they get the first down and an opportunity to win the game here by number 35 to kick a 35-yard field goal to win the game. Pretty much the last play of the game. He kicks it, and he keeps it right as he hits the goal post, and he comes up short, and we end up going to overtime. In overtime, the Aggies decided to defer the first position, so Hawaii is going to get the ball to start, and on the very first play, they get sacked by number 34, DN Paul Humpitch. On 3rd and 12, they're going to try to run a play action, but it fools no one as they get backed up even further, forcing a 4th and 20 here. With Hawaii outside of field goal range, they have to go for it. They end up checking it off to the running back, who gets a nice yardage, but comes up just short of the first down marker, and the Aggies take over with the opportunity to win the game. 3rd and 8 as they drive inside the 20. They continue to try to get more yardage. They do come up short on 3rd down, but sets up a chip shot field goal, and the Aggies are going to end up winning this in overtime to get their first win of the season, 27-24 over the Hawaii Warriors. So to kick off the 2026 season, New Mexico State starts off 1-1 after a heartbreaking loss to the Central Michigan Chippewas. They come back after blowing a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter to beat Hawaii 27-24.